Cold winds strip the world to bone. Above the Arctic Circle, machines fail, tracks vanish, and witnesses swear the ice itself is watching. Tonight we follow real evidence: satellite flights, ghost ships, radio logs, and cameras that caught what no one can explain. From curious patterns in the ice to a towering figure that spooked an Alaskan hunter, we'll count down 10 true encounters, from least to most terrifying. Bundle up. This is top 10 creepy encounters in the Arctic that can't be explained. Number 10. In the frozen tundra of Russia's Kola Peninsula, a herd of reindeer begins to move in circles. At first, it looks like panic, but then the motion becomes perfectly synchronized. Hundreds of animals revolving in a tight spiral, calves protected in the center. Scientists call it a defense mechanism. Predators can't single out a target, but to the human eye, it feels almost ritualistic, as if the herd is obeying some hidden force beneath the ice. Captured on video in the Arctic Circle, this eerie behavior left viewers unsettled. Nature explains part of it. The rest, still a mystery. Number 9. The Arctic is a frozen desert, silent, endless, and unchanging. But in 2018, during NASA's Operation Icebridge flight over the Beaufort Sea, something unexpected appeared. From above, researchers spotted perfect circles carved into the ice, smooth, symmetrical, unlike anything they had documented in the years of missions. At first, theories seemed simple. Maybe warmer water was breaking through from below, or perhaps seals, searching for air, had shaped the openings. But the edges were too precise, the spacing too uniform. Even the scientists admitted it. They had never seen anything like this before. From the safety of the plane, the ice looked less like frozen nature, and more like a coded pattern, a mark left by something intelligent hidden beneath the Arctic surface. Number 8. The Arctic hides more than ice. For centuries, Russian explorers insisted there was land north of Siberia. They called it Sannikov Land. Reports describe dark cliffs rising from the horizon, mountains where no map should place them. Expeditions set out to reach it and failed. Every time, the island seemed to vanish into mist. Even modern satellites show only water, where explorers once swore they saw land. Some say it was a mirage, a trick of cold air bending the light. Others believe it was a fragment of land swallowed by the sea. But there's another possibility, that something far stranger lies hidden, appearing only when conditions are right. To this day, the Arctic keeps its secret. An island explorers once believed in, that the Earth itself seems determined to erase. Number 7. In 1931, trapped in pack ice off the coast of Alaska, the crew of the SS Bai Chimo abandoned their vessel. They expected it to sink quickly into the Arctic depths, but it didn't. For decades afterward, the Bai Chimo was sighted drifting silently through frozen seas. No crew, no lights. Just a dark silhouette moving across the ice floes. Whalers, explorers, even coastal villagers reported seeing the ship. Sometimes they dared to board her, finding empty decks and cabins frozen in time. Each time, storms forced them back into the sea, leaving the Bai Chimo to vanish again into the fog. Her last recorded sighting came in 1969, almost 40 years after she was abandoned. Since then, nothing. In an ocean where wrecks sink within days, the Bai Chimo's survival and her final disappearance remain unexplained. Number 6. Farther east, in the icy waters of Nunavut, another vessel drifts through legend. Locals call it a cursed ship, appearing suddenly on the horizon, only to vanish when hunters approach. Witnesses describe hearing strange echoes across the water, as if voices carried on the wind. Unlike the Bai Chimo, this vessel leaves no record, no name, no registration, only fear. Some Inuit hunters say the ship brings misfortune, sickness, accidents, even death to those who pursue it. Others refuse to speak of it at all, With no photographs, no wreckage, the cursed ship of Nunavut lives between folklore and nightmare. Yet the number of accounts passed down through generations gives weight to the terror. Out on the Arctic waters, where survival depends on instinct, the sudden sight of a ghostly ship is enough to make even seasoned hunters turn back. So far, we've seen the Arctic twist nature into impossible forms. Reindeer spiraling in defense, circles burned into the ice, an island that vanishes, and ships that drift without crews. Each encounter leaves questions frozen in time, but the deeper we go, the stranger it becomes. From haunted islands to phantom figures, the next 5 cases are darker, more disturbing, and far harder to explain. Number 5. Near the edge of the Antarctic Peninsula lies a volcanic crescent known as Deception Island. Its black beaches steam with geothermal heat, but explorers report something else. Voices echoing through abandoned whaling stations, footsteps crunching across the ash when no one is there. Scientists say the island's eruptions created landscapes that feel alive, caves that breathe, vents that moan like wind through a hollow chest. Yet visitors describe more than natural sounds: shadows moving between rusted tanks, figures glimpsed in the fog, dogs growling at empty doorways. Some dismiss it as imagination, sparked by isolation in a hostile world. But those who have walked its haunted shore agree on one thing: Deception Island doesn't feel deserted. It feels inhabited. Number 4. On Ross Island, McMurdo is the largest research base in Antarctica. By day, it's a hub of science, but at night, stories spread through the corridors, whispers in the radio room, footsteps pacing above the dormitories, and sometimes the sight of a man in uniform, only to vanish when approached. Many trace the hauntings to tragedy. In 1979, an Air New Zealand flight crashed into nearby Mount Erebus, killing all 257 aboard. Survivors of later expeditions say the weight of that disaster lingers. Some even claim the lost wander the ice, drawn toward McMurdo's lights. For researchers who spend months in the dark polar night, the feeling is impossible to ignore. The base is never truly empty. Something is always moving in the silence. Number 3. Deep in the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard, where polar bears outnumber people, legends tell of a woman who never left. Miners once reported seeing her near abandoned camps, pale, silent, drifting across the snow. Modern travelers speak of the same figure: long hair, dark eyes, and a presence that chills the blood. Svalbard is a graveyard of failed settlements. Ghost towns crumble into the permafrost, their history buried under ice. Locals whisper that the woman is tied to those who perished here, a spirit condemned to wander the frozen valleys. There is no photograph, no proof, only testimony after testimony, enough to make those who work long polar nights glance over their shoulder, fearing they too might see her watching from the snow. Number 2. Alaska, 2024. A hunter walks the tundra, his dog at his side. Suddenly the dog freezes, growls, then locks its eyes on something unseen. The hunter raises his camera and captures a figure, thin.
Jake. I don't know what he's barking at. I think he sees something back here. What are you barking at? Holy crap! Holy crap! Did you see that? No. Dude, holy crap, it's standing right on the left side.
gray human in shape but not in motion. The clip spread quickly online. Some dismissed it as a trick of light or a hoax staged for attention, but others pointed to the animal's reaction. Dogs don't fake fear. The growls, the raised fur, the instinct to protect. Something was out there. In a land where legends speak of beings hiding in the snow, this footage is more than unsettling. It is visual evidence, rare, raw, and deeply disturbing, of a creature that should not exist. We've seen ghost ships drifting through fog, phantom voices haunting research bases, and even a humanoid captured on video in the Alaskan tundra. Each encounter more chilling than the last. But at the very top of our list is a legend that refuses to fade, a creature rooted in Inuit tradition, feared by hunters, and still reported today. This is not just a story, it's the Arctic's darkest presence. The number 1. Across the frozen wilderness of Alaska and the Yukon, the Inuit tell of beings called the Tornit, giant hairy men who live in the mountains and prey on the unwary. Miners knew them as the Hairy Man. Modern cryptid hunters call them the Yeti of Alaska. Witnesses describe towering figures covered in dark fur, moving silently through snowstorms. Camps torn apart in the night. Strange tracks far larger than any bear. Hunters vanish without a trace, their rifles left behind in the snow. What makes the Nahani terrifying is not just the folklore, it's the consistency of the reports stretching from the 19th century to today. Explorers, locals, even modern adventurers still speak of shadowy giants watching from the ridges. In a land where survival depends on vigilance, the thought of something stronger, faster, and far more cunning roaming the ice is enough to haunt the imagination. Whether spirit, legend, or undiscovered predator, the Nahani remains the Arctic's most terrifying mystery.